For many, the family dinner table is considered a sacred ritual. Even for individuals whom it may not have been customary to eat at a dinner table, has likely still witnessed countless instances of this age-old custom depicted on film. Since the beginning of movies, filmmakers have used the dinner table as a setting to forward the narrative, depict character and family dynamics, and manufacture a specific mood and atmosphere. You are bound to recognize some of these dinner table scenes used in American films over the past 60 years.
Anyway, you know what reminds me of? I need this knife. I'm gonna take this, it's okay?
Okay, yeah,
Just need it for
bring
a
it
while.
back.
Oh, I'm having such a wonderful time.
I don't want no potato. You know mashed potatoes give me gas.
Come here and kiss your mother before you go. Come here.
Come on, Mom, make it fast.
Look at it roll! Now we can watch Jackie Gleason while we eat.
I'd rather die drunk, broke at 34 and have people at a dinner table talk about me than live to be rich and sober at 90 and nobody remembered what it was.
I added peas.
Yeah, peas. Yeah, it's the green.
Last meter, see how loud it gets on that one. You don't.
Don't interrupt me, honey.
Dear Lord, thank you for this Thanksgiving holiday, and for letting us white people kill all the Indians and steal their tribal lands and stuff ourselves like pigs.
Oh, dear God. Thank you. You are such a good God to us, a kind and gentle and accommodating.
I just want to take time to say thank you for my family, my two beautiful, handsome, striking sons, Walker and Texas Ranger, or TR, as we call him. And of course, my red-hot smoking wife, Carly, who's a stone-cold fox. Who, if you were to rate her ass on 100, it would easily be a 94.
So if there's anything that you want to talk about, any kind of secrets, now's the time to put it on the table, okay?
I said the Lord's name in vain at school. I went to the petting zoo and I let the goat lick my penis. I had a beer with the old biker man at the end of the street, and he let me touch his old lady's titty. One time I put a firefly in my butthole. I shaved the dog and glued the hair to my nutsack so I looked like a grown man.
I touched myself to Drew Carey on The Price is Right.
God. Okay, that's enough. Stop, please.
Oh, now, see what you made me do? God damn it.
As was probably evident in these examples, dinner table scenes are frequently used to create dramatic tension, such as in Tony Kaye's American History X, released in 1998.
See this? That means not welcome.
Or to create an environment for humor.
You have a very gentle face and a very erotic physique.
You're correct.
Yes.
That's a very good observation.
She is your wife?
Nope, that's my wife.
In my country, they would go crazy.
Oh my.
For these two, not so much.
Scenes are also frequently designed in direct homage, using visuals and themes that are reminiscent of previous movies. What almost every dinner table scene has in common is that they individually are also used to develop characterization, express important exposition.
You know, I think that R2 unit we bought might have been stolen.
What makes you think that?
Well, I stumbled across a recording while I was cleaning him. He says he belongs to someone called Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And raise ideological issues. These socio-political issues may include gender roles in the establishment of patriarchal order.
Now, don't bother Al. She won't be able to follow you. She's only had a 4th grade education.
Sexuality.
You fell in love with the boy?
Yes, I did. Very much so.
That's silly.
You're right. It was silly. It was very, very silly.
There's another word for it.
Class position. Race and ethnicity.
What's with the white kid?
That's Simon. He's my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend?
Yep.
You didn't tell me he was white. Yes, I did. When? I told you back at the home. I thought you was kidding.
Or even a combination of all of them.
Do you have a preference about the child's race?
Julie. Well, I just mean the gay thing. One of the contributing factors to being gay may very well be the environment.
Well, I mean, look at my drapes, right? Aren't they horrible? There's absolutely no way it was this environment.
Filmmakers can deconstruct these elements of ideology in an effective and condensed manner, as there are few places more natural to include this type of dense dialogue in topical conversations than the dinner table.
Hey, I'm here. I'm queer. Get used to it.
Just to make it easier for the child.
That's enough!
A competent director does not rely solely on discourse when crafting their scenes, as the visuals are often just as important as what is said. Through mise-en-scene, filmmakers frequently manipulate spectators and encourage emotions that might not be as genuine in a setting outside of a dinner table.
I've tried saying
Okay, so
things.
try again. Release yourself.
Oh, release you mean?
Yeah, fine. Release me. Just say it.
Don't you ever raise your voice at me. I am your mother. Do you understand? If you could have just said, I'm sorry, or faced up to what happened, maybe then we could do something with this. But you can't take responsibility for anything. Because nobody admits anything they've done.
Thomas Bazooka, director of The Family Stone, speaking about his use of production design and set dressings to visually characterize spaces on screen, said,
"We just see the house in which they grew up. And this is a home that this family has lived in and raised 5 kids in over the course of 30 years. You know, it's magnets on the refrigerator and phone books, and it's, you know, the 5th layer of stuff that makes it real."
These meticulously designed choices within the mise-en-scene include camera framing as well as movement, manufactured lighting on, or sometimes behind the actors, costumes and makeup, and calculated use of set design and props.
You know, what goes here, and we mull over everything. It's not thrown in there, although we'd like it to look like that.
Dinner table scenes in American suburban settings especially emphasize these ideological, political, and diversity issues, each revolving around the establishment of patriarchal order, or the lack thereof when a father figure is visibly absent.
What did I do to you?
How could you bring him to my father's table? How could you go from dad to that? Aren't you ashamed?
I'm ashamed that you came out of my body.
A formal analysis of 2 dinner table scenes from Steven Spielberg's E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial illustrates how filmmakers often manipulate spectators through the implementation of issue-laden dialogue and proficient use of mise-en-scene. A common trend involving dinner table scenes is depicting the same dining space multiple times throughout a movie, with E.T. also being an example. This allows filmmakers to depict these spaces in contrast to previous scenes, revealing changes to the environment and in characterization over the course of a movie. The first scene opens with an establishing shot of a typical suburban home. However, it is depicted in very harsh lighting, with dense fog that creates an ominous atmosphere, as if something is abnormal within the house.
Oh, great.
A motif of fog, steam, and smoke is used throughout the film and continues into the house, Each element adds a supernatural aesthetic, but is also representative of being isolated, lost, and forgotten. The true focus of the scene is not what is happening at the table, but actually what is happening outside of it.
Don't worry about it, Mike. I got resurrection. I'll bring you back.
Through the smoke, in the exact center of the screen, is Elliot, who, although is visibly speaking, is purposely rendered mute on the soundtrack.
Well, I'm ready to
You're
now
a
to
thief.
play. I'm ready to play now, you guys.
We're in the middle, Elliot. Can't you join any universe in the middle?
Elliot is depicted as an outsider who desires attention and inclusion, but never truly finds it. Something is abnormal within the home and family, the least of which being the teen's lack of adult supervision. It is not until the film's main dinner table scene that audiences receive confirmation of what is really wrong. When the audience is again introduced to the dinner table location, it is almost unrecognizable. The room has a calm and much more comfortable feeling compared to the environment depicted earlier, and the smoke motif is notably no longer visible. This arguably shows that Elliot's family provides him the inclusion he so desperately needs. In the background is a more formal dining room table, which may raise the question of why it is not being used instead of a more cramped kitchen table.
What are you going as for Halloween? I'm not going to stupid Halloween.
Why don't you go as a goblin?
Shut up.
An establishing shot of an oddly shaped triangular table provides the viewer a glimpse of Elliot's family, which includes his mother, Mary, and brother Michael, sitting together facing him, with Elliot's sister Gertie relegated to the third side of the triangle.
It's not that we don't believe you, honey.
Well, it was real, I swear.
The table itself is quite inviting and well lit, but the rest of the house appears rather dark and unpleasant, as if something is still wrong within the home. Despite sitting with his family, Elliot is despondent, still looking like an outsider as he sulks into his seat. Each new shot and angle makes Elliot appear small, insignificant, and often isolated, similar to the first dinner table scene analyzed. Visually, he often appears as if he is on the witness stand, rather than sitting at the family's table. Each member of the family seems to be playing a role, as Elliot is questioned about the authenticity of the creature he claims to have seen. Mary seemingly takes on the sympathetic defense attorney.
Not that we don't believe you, honey. All we're trying to say is maybe you just probably imagined it.
I couldn't have imagined it.
While Michael takes on the more patriarchal role of judge and prosecutor, with Gertie as the jury, as she amusingly announces which option was most likely true.
Maybe it was an iguana. You know how they say there are alligators in the sewers?
Alligators in the sewers.
Maybe it was a pervert or deformed kid or
A
something.
deformed kid.
Maybe an elf or a leprechaun.
It was nothing like that, penis breath.
Elliot! Sit down.
Dad would believe me.
Maybe you ought to call your father and tell him about it.
I can't. He's in Mexico with Sally. Where's Mexico?
I'm gonna kill you.
If you ever see it again, whatever it is, don't touch it. Just call me and we'll have somebody come and take it away.
Like the dog catcher? But they'll give it a lobotomy or do experiments on it or something.
It's your turn to do the dishes, fellas.
I set and cleared.
I set and cleared.
I did breakfast.
I did breakfast.
What's the matter, Mom?
It's Mexico.
Damn it, why don't you grow up? Think how other people feel for a change.